What's up, UA fam? Ashley here. And if you love this podcast and you actually find yourself re-listening to episodes and wanting more of Taryn and I, guess what? You should subscribe to our Supercast where we give you bonus content every single week. But not just basic episodes, we do interactive episodes like personalized AMAs where you can specifically ask Taryn how her dating life is going, and you can specifically ask me how it's been living with my boyfriend this past few months. We do solo episodes and even scary episodes because we know how much you guys love those scary stories. And our Supercast community has been growing exponentially, so don't miss out. Subscribe to Supercast now and join the fun.
I feel.
Oh, I was going to say that I feel like I can always tell the vibe of the episode based on how soon and ready you are to get rolling.
Okay.
And whenever there's a lull, I'm always like, it's going to be one of those episodes.
I just feel like I'm tired and when your mind isn't fully at the place it needs to be for something.
Right.
It was like that. So I was looking at fun facts, but I was like, these bore me.
Well, I'm still asleep. We came in earlier than we normally come in, and
oh, maybe that's it.
No, that's 100% it. Okay. Because I didn't even get to finish my whole coffee, and I was running out the door. So I went from my morning coffee to a yerba mate with normally I would make myself drink a water bottle before doing that. I don't have time today.
We don't have
We're
time.
cutting straight to it. We need the caffeine.
We have to record. Yeah.
Today's episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. If you guys have been a listener of the podcast for a while, then it is no secret that Taryn and I highly prioritize our mental health and are huge advocates for therapy. And we're seriously so excited that mental health awareness is growing, but there's still so much progress to be made. 26% of Americans who participated in a recent survey say that they have avoided seeking mental health support due to fear of judgment, which in my experience just has no truth. That should be the judgment-free zone. And because it's Mental Health Awareness Month, Taryn and I really want to encourage all of us to take care of our well-being. BetterHelp has over 10 years of experience matching people with the right therapist from their diverse network of more than 30,000 licensed therapists with a wide range of specialties. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable and convenient and serving over 5 million people worldwide. We're all better with help. Visit betterhelp.com/unsolicited to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/unsolicited. Today's episode is brought to you by Blissy. Okay, guys, if you've been following me for a while, you know I'm a skincare junkie. I am constantly prioritizing my skin's health and trying to do things that bring my skin to a better place. And my dermatologist let me in on a little skincare secret. She likes to tell her clients all the time, and it's ditch cotton pillowcases. Okay. This is not news for me, but for some people, this is a groundbreaking revelation that will change your skin forever. So ditch those dirty pillowcases for Blissy's Silk, and you'll see less fine lines and healthier hair in just weeks. And because you're a listener, Blissy is offering 60 nights risk-free plus an additional 30% off when you shop at blissy.com/advicepod. That's Blissy, BLISSY.com/advicepod, and use code advicepod to get an additional 30% off. Your skin and hair will thank you.
It's funny how literally, because it's just an hour earlier, but it feels as if
that's all it is.
It's
it's crazy. I
5
was
in the morning
laying in bed. Also, I'm a mom of 2 currently, and Alicia's in New York, so I have our dachshund as well. So it's just I had to take them both out, and then I had to feed them both, and then I had to, because Alicia's gone, I had to make sure they were went to the bathroom again, and then ended up dropping them off at Alicia's where both their crates are, and it was just this whole process of dropping my kid off to school before coming into work. And
that's so real. I actually didn't have Charlie last night. He stayed with my parents because I'm so lucky and he's so spoiled, but I literally drop him off at my parents every time I leave my house. He's never at my apartment alone unless it's at night and it's a quick errand or something.
A short period of time, yeah.
But he just has so much anxiety when I leave him at my apartment. But if I leave him at my parents' house, he's chilling. Like he's not stressed at all. And my dad works from home, so it just like works. I knew today, like when I'm out in LA, it's like too long for him to just stay at home. And my parents are in their RV right now, like camping. So I was like, I need to just like, I drove him out and like left him there in the RV so that I could like come here today and not worry about him.
Yeah. Now, where's their dog?
With them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think that's the only reason I'm here and like semi put together.
Yeah.
Is because I didn't have Charlie. Because I feel like if I did, like you have to walk him, you have to feed him. And then
it's a whole thing.
Like he's not eating his food. So I'm like stressed out trying to get him to eat. So then I look like a mess. Like imagine when we have kids.
Dude.
I'm never going to look beautiful again.
It's over.
Good thing we're natural beauties.
We rolled out of bed looking like this.
I don't even need
Obviously.
makeup.
How was your weekend, Taryn?
My weekend was good. I saw you.
We did something fun.
I forced Ashley to build a Lego set with me.
There wasn't that much force behind it.
Yeah, but you know how like when you love something so much and then you try to like get someone you love to do it and you want them to like love it as much as you love it. That didn't happen. Why are you staring at me like that?
What do you mean that didn't happen?
You didn't love it.
I had so much fun.
But you didn't love it.
Taryn, you literally left and Jackson and I like spent the rest of our day together, and then we get home and he's like, do you want to watch a movie? And I said, I would rather listen to my audiobook and finish my Lego set.
You know what?
And I did.
But that makes sense to me. I think the reason you were stressing out is because you were trying to like keep pace with me, and you would get stressed if I got like too ahead of you, because that's, in case you didn't know, this quiet, sweet little one is one of the most competitive people I've ever met. And you don't know it though.
It's not. I don't think I'm a competitive person in the I have to win sense.
No.
I'm a competitive person in the I will like keep up sense.
You don't like feeling like you are like behind or incapable. That's a good word.
I hate feeling incapable.
So I feel like you were rushing, and then you'd be like, oh my gosh, I missed a step. And then you'd freak out because you'd be trying to.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to me that after I left and you were able to just like be on your own and build, it makes sense to me that you like that more.
Also, I'm currently reading the Throne of Glass series. Queen of Shadows is what I'm currently on, and I'm at the end. So it was really ramping up. So I was like, hey, Jackson, thoughts on you watching basketball and me sitting here. I had my headphones on. I was
Are
in
you
the
kidding?
book.
He was probably like, I've never loved you more. That's the hottest thing you've ever
He gets
said.
to watch the Nuggets in peace while I'm just sitting here.
Yeah.
And it was great. And it was so great. And I fully loved it. And I think in most things in life, I don't care about winning a game. I get nothing from that.
Yeah.
Unless there's a money prize.
Yeah.
There's no point in me winning. Bragging rights means nothing to me. But being able to keep up and being able to like hang in with everyone else,
but that
means different.
Sense. And that makes sense why like you hated math so much, because like you like it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
And then there's like certain times where like, or like how you said you used to be like, oh yeah, like I've heard that band, even though like you hadn't. It's like
something I still struggle with.
You just want to like feel like
I'm in the know.
And honestly, it's probably something like in therapy, they would like love this.
Yeah, I'm so
it's like
curious.
Somewhere in life, like you felt like you weren't enough, or like you didn't measure up. And it's like almost like even now, that's like your inner child wound. That's like, no, I have to like.
Yeah. No, do you know when you're like embarrassed to say something?
Yeah. All the I wish I was more embarrassed to say things.
I still struggle with the like, if someone mentions something or have you heard of whatever, everything in me wants to say yes. And sometimes I still do. And I'll catch myself and I'll be like, Ashley, stop. For why?
But you correct yourself now. You'll be like, actually, I don't know why I said that.
Yeah,
I've never heard of that.
That's literally to a T verbatim what I will say.
I know.
Because I've forced myself to like, I'd rather say that and be embarrassed by the fact that I said that than keep going.
Yeah.
Because
then
if I keep going, then you get stuck and it just builds a bigger hole. And I guess that comes with like growing up and being an adult. But like to this day, that's something I weirdly struggle with. and have a hard time with. So I'll punish myself by stopping and saying, I don't know why I said that. I don't know who that is. Can you explain more? And it's like the funniest thing because they'll be like, well, then why'd you say that? And I'll be like, can we just move on?
Yeah.
Can we roll past this, please?
I need to go
I'm rolling past this. I need you to roll past it.
No, it's funny. Why did we get on this huge
I don't remember. Legos.
We built together. I have my second official deal with them.
Which is huge.
I know.
But you guys already know this. You know the whole backstory. I don't even have to tell you.
And when we were on our call, and what I love about the program I'm in right now is it's very much they want me to be creative. So they'll be like, hey, we're trying to push these specific sets. What do you think would be a cool video or concept? So then I'll pitch a ton of different things, and then they'll be like, we love this, whatever. And so on our call, we were talking about, they were like, okay, what are things you're passionate about? What are things that make you happy? And obviously the podcast came up and me talking about how it's with you. And they were like, okay, love, what, would you like to do something along those lines too? Cause I have one coming up that's Star Wars related. And then I have one coming up that's with my niece and nephew. And so this was a cool other aspect of my life.
Yeah.
And so I pitched the idea. I was like, what if we do me and her just building together and it being a whole just this is girlhood, this and yap kind of thing. And they were like, we love it. And they showed me the sets and I picked one that I was like, oh my God, Ashley would love this one.
I'm obsessed with it. It's so cute.
It's okay. Did you do the knob yet?
I did the whole thing.
I was obsessed with that part.
Again, because Jackson was sitting behind me watching the Nuggets game and I was sitting on the floor making my Legos.
Don't you feel like a kid when you do that?
I literally turned around with the biggest smile on my face and I turned the knob and then I turned the other knob and the sound came out and he was like, how'd you do that? And I was like,
I am an
Lego
engineer.
Master? Question mark?
Don't you feel like you're the smartest person in the world, even though you literally
just did nothing?
No, you just follow step by step, but you're like, I made you.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it did something.
Get a Lego set.
I literally was like, sorry, I don't know what you had planned tonight, but yeah, I'm
just
busy.
Turning your knob. Yeah. So by the time this is out, I think my video will be up. So you guys should go give it some love.
Yeah. It was really cute. We'll be sure to repost it on the pod so you guys can see it as well.
But besides that, I had a rough week.
Ooh.
And I feel
How rough is rough? Give us a number. 1 out of 10.
Pretty rough. Pretty rough, but also I don't know if this is just me because I'm just so mentally and emotionally healthy. But sometimes, especially as an adult, and because I deserve to brag on my mental skills because I worked hard for them.
Yes, we were all there for that.
Oh my God. Yeah. Worked hard for them. So I think the older I get, when I have lows, there's a weird high that comes with it because I'm so proud of how I manage my emotions and handle things. So it's a weird thing because it's I had a really rough week and I've been struggling just in certain areas, but I also at the same time throughout it was so proud of myself and recognizing wow, even 2 years ago, I would have handled this so poorly.
Yes.
So it's been good. It's been a good low because I think it's brought to light some issues that I still need to cater to a little bit.
Or maybe also some issues that you're wow, I don't really have that issue anymore.
Yes.
Something that should have triggered a past issue.
For sure.
This is awesome.
I know. So
this is big.
I don't know. There's something about, I'm literally, this lip gloss is all over my hands. This is not a fidget proof one for the episode now because I always have one in my hand. That's what I was saying. And I know I talk about this all the time, but I feel where I saw a major shift in my life in how I handle unpreferred things in life is when I realized that multiple emotions can exist at the same time. And when you kind of shift to that, oh, I can be really sad, but also be really grateful for what I have and be able to like also do the things I need to do. Or like, you know, like when you're single, it's like I can be super sad and lonely, but also still like love my independence. And like, so it's like, I think when you stop just thinking that like, oh, I'm stuck in this like one place and this one emotion and whatever, it kind of frees you from feeling trapped, which is the scariest feeling.
Right.
So yeah, it was like, I would have these moments where I'd be like crying and I'd let myself cry. And then I'd be like, okay, like I'm going to build a Lego set. I'm going to put a TV show on or like, okay, I'm going to cry in my car and then I'm going to go into work and I'm going to kill it today because I'm good at my job. Like it was kind of like a cool experience of being able, I haven't felt like a heavy emotional weight in a while. So it was like cool to see how I can like balance both and still know like at the end of the day, like I'm going to be okay. And like, I know who I am. So like, this isn't going to like destroy me.
Right.
You know?
Then that's on health, Taryn, because now
Thanks,
you
girl.
can have the freedom to express those emotions, give yourself a beat to feel that and process it. And then like the sooner you feel it and process it, because you're in a healthier place now, you can be like, okay, I'm going to close that door.
Yeah.
I'm going to go about my life and do the things I need to do, see the people I need to see, like take care of business. And if I need to deal with that feeling again, I'll deal with it later.
Yeah.
But it's not taking the center of your world. It's not like fully encapsulating you and making you incapable of moving. You know?
And I think I have the type of personality, or I guess I should say I used to, where when I would feel something or I would feel out of control in an area, my mind would go to worst case scenario as almost like a protective thing. Like I'd be like, okay, cool. Well, I'm never going to do this again, or this is over. Or
done.
Like, cause it was like how
away.
I protect myself. But then I would be so frantic and so like low and everything. So I feel like now it's like, I know I'm like, okay, obviously I'm going through something, but I know that I can handle anything. And I believe in myself enough to know like I will get through this and I will be a stronger person at the other end.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really weird because it still doesn't make like the pain less, but it like, you're not afraid of it.
Right.
You almost just embrace it and are like, okay, like obviously we're going through something and we just have to like get to the other side of it.
I love that, Taryn.
Yeah. And for everyone, no, me and the guy didn't like end things. I'm not like, my cancer's not back. It's not anything crazy. I just like, I've had just
having
like
a moment.
An emotional
and you're allowed
week.
to have that moment.
Yeah. And I just like haven't had one for a while. So it's been interesting, but all in all, like refreshing.
And also I don't think you would have necessarily seen how far you've come and grown if you hadn't gone through a little bit of a spell. Because now the way you're handling it is so dramatically different from how you've handled it in the past. And you wouldn't have known that. Because now you can give yourself a little like pat on the back, like, wow. Wow.
Look where we are. Young Taryn would be so proud of us. Health and wealth.
No, that's awesome. And I'm so happy for you. I feel like I can actually confidently speak on behalf of every listener right now. Like we're all so happy for you.
I know Ash because obviously like I've talked to Ash throughout this week and there's been so many times she'll just be like, I am so proud of you because like your friends know your patterns. They've seen how you handle certain things. And so that was like encouraging too, to like see like people in my life that are like, whoa, like this is different. The way you're handling this is different.
Yeah.
So,
even this last week, I would like text Taryn. I didn't hear back and I'd be like, hey,
you good?
What's going on over there? And like when she like did respond, it was like so not what I was expecting. It just made me so happy.
Yeah.
So yay.
Thanks. That's on life.
That's on life. That's on growth.
Yeah.
Today's episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. If you guys have been a listener of the podcast for a while, then it is no secret that Taryn and I highly prioritize our mental health and are huge advocates for therapy. And we're seriously so excited that mental health awareness is growing, but there's still so much progress to be made. 26% of Americans who participated in a recent survey say that they have avoided seeking mental health support due to fear of judgment, which in my experience just has no truth. That should be the judgment-free free zone. And because it's Mental Health Awareness Month, Taryn and I really want to encourage all of us to take care of our well-being. I've done in-person therapy as well as online therapy. And let me tell you what, both are absolutely incredible and both were amazing at different chapters of my life. But if your schedule is too busy to swing into a therapist's office or you don't live in an area near a good therapist, guess what? You don't have to because BetterHelp is here. BetterHelp has over 10 years of experience matching people with the right therapist from their diverse network of more than 30,000 licensed therapists with a wide range of specialties. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable and convenient and serving over 5 million people worldwide. And the thing Taryn and I love the most about BetterHelp is you can easily switch therapists at any time at no extra cost. We fully believe that finding the right therapist takes time, and sometimes it takes a few tries. And we love that BetterHelp makes that process easy and doesn't cost extra. We're all better with help. Visit betterhelp.com/unsolicited to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/unsolicited. Today's episode is brought to you by Blissy. Okay, guys, if you've been following me for a while, you know I'm a skincare junkie. I am constantly prioritizing my skin's health and trying to do things that bring my skin to a better place. And my dermatologist let me in on a little skincare secret. She likes to tell her clients all the time, and it's ditch cotton pillowcases. Okay. This is not news for me, but for some people, this is a groundbreaking revelation that will change your skin forever. So ditch those dirty pillowcases for Blissy's silk, and you'll see less fine lines and healthier hair in just weeks. I switched my pillowcase over years ago because of hearing this, and I'm telling you guys, my skin is healthier. My hair is silkier. Before, when I'd wake up on a regular like cotton pillowcase, my hair would be kind of frizzy, kind of crunchy feeling, which is just not it. And with silk, there's anti-aging properties that reduces fine lines and wrinkles over time. It eliminates frizz in the hair, like what I was talking about earlier, and preserves hairstyles and protects color-treated hair even. The naturally hydrating silk fibers keep your skin moisturized all night long. Plus, it's antibacterial and hypoallergenic. For those of us who have, allergy issues, this is just a no-brainer. It's naturally cooling and breathable, which means no more sweaty nights. And it's easy to care for, meaning machine washable, which is wild for silk. So don't get left behind. All the cool kids are doing it. Switch your pillowcases over to Blissy. And because you're a listener, Blissy is offering 60 nights risk-free plus an additional 30% off when you shop at blissy.com/advicepod. That's Blissy, BLISSY.com/advicepod, and use code advicepod to get an additional 30% off. Your skin and hair will thank you.
How are you, baby?
Oh, great. I had the best weekend ever. I went on this trip with Osea Wednesday to Murrieta Hot Springs, which I am from IE. I am from Moreno Valley. And I had a whole moment where I connected with one of the team members there who I've known and met before, but he also had a 951 number. And so we had this whole moment of just how you've never been to Murrieta Hot Springs? I've heard of the city. I've never been to the hot springs. Come to find out, the hot springs was closed down for years because it was a Bible college. It was like a Calvary Chapel Bible college. It closed down during COVID, and now they have revamped the actual hot springs, and it's beautiful.
Oh, it looked stunning.
It's beautiful. I'm like, what was the college doing with the water? Were they utilizing it
and
in
also
any way?
Bible school, were they allowed to be in bathing suits?
Definitely not together.
Is that where they baptize people?
It's
maybe?
I'm sure if they did, it was definitely there's a men's and there's a girls.
Or girls were in t-shirts because women can't show their bodies.
Can we talk about that?
Girl, the way I almost drowned in so many
Bible camp
pools.
for women or just youth camp or summer camps through church for girls. I'm surprised there's not more deaths because they literally make you swim in basketball shorts and an oversized shirt, which is impossible.
I would just not go because I feel so claustrophobic when that happens. And then, heaven forbid, you have boobs at all, which
You're
obviously
done. You're done. You can't tread water and all that.
I'm unfortunately blessed in that area.
Can't. It's literally impossible.
No, but it's that's so everything you wear, it's you're being too sexual.
Yeah, and even if I had a one piece on or something like that, they would still think.
Yeah. No, it's rough. It's a rough life.
It's tough. It's tough out there.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was probably the case at the campus, but either way, it doesn't matter. The hot springs is back, and it was beautiful. And I got to meet so many of the team members on the hot spring side. And then obviously I've worked with Osea in the past, and I just adore them as a company. So I had a very restful week leading into the weekend. So I've just been like 4 days of just like sunshine.
That's so nice.
I feel so refreshed. I'm actually like so stoked to like get back to work. It was like a mini vacation.
No, that's so nice.
You know, when you like had the perfect amount of rest and you're excited to like get back into your routine, that's how I feel today, even though I'm a little groggy.
Yeah.
So it was great. It was wonderful.
I feel like you're talking very fast. So like the coffee and the yerba,
Thank God.
they've hit. And I'm happy for you because I'm like, shoot, I should have
You want some?
brought a Celsius or something. Every time we talk about like talking fast, I'll never forget that one episode, which like I wish I could remember
Which one it was. Yeah.
But I remember that was still when I used to listen back to our episodes. LOL.
We're so sick of our voices.
No, never. Well, no, now we have a team, so we don't have to listen back.
Yeah.
Love it. But I remember listening back and I texted Ashley and I was like, Ashley, we literally sound like we're on crack.
Yeah.
Like talking over each other. It was like did you listen?
Trisha Paytas.
The Trisha Paytas episode on with Alex Earl. Me and Ashley were like cry laughing because they are the same pace. What?
We never did an update.
Of what?
Of Vegas.
We left Vegas in the past. It died.
No, we have to talk
along
about
with part of my soul.
Okay, do you guys mind if this is the tearing it up? Should we just like make this the tearing it up segment? Like a Vegas recap?
Yeah, and then we'll just do like one story. We'll rock, paper, scissors.
Because you guys, this was this was like such a funny experience. First of all, Taryn and I had a blast.
Yeah.
Which says a lot for how down bad I was the entire weekend. Literally the day before we leave for Vegas is again, like backstory. This is Miss Remi Ashton's Vegas Bachelorette weekend, who we all knew was going to go all out. It was like,
okay,
full send.
We knew because we know her and she's the type of, like she literally gave us swag bags full of stuff for her bachelorette. Like
we will repost my TikTok because it's a lot and you guys need to see.
She is wild, but I didn't realize, and I don't think any of us did until we were playing like this game thing and she brought it up, but she said she didn't dream about like her wedding growing up. She dreamed about her bachelorette party, specifically being in Vegas. Like she's obsessed with Vegas.
Always has been.
She always has been. So like she went all out, and I'm going to be honest, I have a very love-hate relationship with Vegas.
Yeah.
Every time I go, I never want to return to that city ever again.
Yeah.
And then a few years will go by, the right group will ask, I'll be like, yeah, let's go. And then I'm like, I'll never return. I didn't feel that way leaving because it was like, it just was such a fun group and like a fun trip. But I'm not a huge fan of Vegas, but like her love of Vegas, I feel like rubbed off on all of us.
Well, also the way she executed Vegas for us.
It was so bougie.
No, it was so bougie. It was so nice. We didn't wait in any line. We had a table at every bar, every club. We didn't intermingle with literally anyone. We literally stayed with our group, dancing with our group the entire time. Every restaurant was nice.
We made it connect with like a party bus early on. So like everywhere we went was like in a party bus.
The same bus, the same driver. It was literally seamless.
Yeah.
Also, Alicia, it was like paying for everything was also seamless, which is usually never the case. Alicia was just the best maid of honor ever, and literally was like, I'm going to pay for everything. And then she split everything 14 ways. And we all Venmo'd her.
Yeah.
So seamless.
So easy.
And usually that's not the case. No one wants to pay up front for like all of that stuff, but she was just an angel and decided to do that. And Remi paid for a lot of things, which was so unnecessary, but she did it anyways. And so the reason we would go back is because it was the literal perfect bachelor. It was so smooth. Everything was so smooth.
Yeah.
But literally we had activities, we had plans every single day. The night before I went to the Pretty Basic live show, I'm sitting in the audience and I look at Jackson and I'm like, I think my throat feels sore. I was like, does my throat feel sore? And he was like, don't say that. And I was like, but like,
it's weird how you know the difference. Like
there's
even
a difference.
Like me and Ash are chronic allergy sufferers.
Yes.
And I know immediately by the first sniffle when I wake up, I'm like, this is not allergies. This is something else.
I was literally fine all day long. And then we're sitting in the audience and I was like, oh my God, my throat feels sore. And he was like, you know what? I bet it's just the air freshener. I feel a little tickle. Like, I think it's just the air freshener in the building. And I was like, okay. Yeah. And he was like, just think positively. I was like, okay. By the time I get home, I was sick.
Yeah.
And it literally happened within like a 2-hour window of me feeling like I might be coming down with something to like feeling like I'm unwell. No, she touched it. She pulled it off.
I'm sorry.
So by the time I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I'm clearly under the weather. This could either get better or this is going to get worse.
Or this is going to stick. And I even texted her. I was like, Ashley, get out of bed. Like move around.
Well,
like
I was concerned because, well, one, I felt bad because I assumed we were in a 2-bed hotel room and we had a roommate, Lindsay, who I didn't know that well. Now I consider her a sister.
I love her.
But like I, at the time was like, I don't know how she feels. We're all still post-COVID. Like I was like, I don't know how she feels about this. So I texted Taryn and Lindsay and I was like, hey ladies, I feel like I'm coming down with something. Like if you don't want me to come, like I'm totally fine to not come. Obviously, like I will sleep in the rollaway bed. Like I will do what needs to happen. But like, this could get worse. I don't know. Both of them were like, are you kidding me? If you feel up to coming, like you should come. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go. And if I have to leave, I have to leave. We go, they won't allow a rollaway bed. I'm like, shoot. So I end up crashing in Taryn's bed. And I'm like, the whole time, like I'm trying to like face the opposite direction and like hide my face. I brought a jacket to like cover my face in.
Yeah, you didn't need to do all that.
I also didn't want to like breathe on you.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, night one, I ended up, I was miserable. I was definitely coming down. I was like, am I feverish?
No, literally we go and the whole time like on the plane, everything, which I'm like, you were asleep on my shoulder, breathing all over me. I love how like you thought like, oh, I'm protecting you. And then every other moment, like you're like glued to me.
But like for like 8 hours ish at night, like
and we all know she a mouth breather.
Especially when I'm sick.
She a mouth breather.
Not like I would have used it anyways, but that's why I have mouth tape because.
What was that picture I took of you? Oh, you were yawning.
Oh, I was like mid yawn. She took the worst photo of me. It doesn't matter.
I think it's the worst photo I've ever taken of you.
No.
Which doesn't.
No.
Wait, which one?
No.
No,
stop. We'll get to this later. We'll get to this later. Okay. So anyways.
What happens when you put two girls who have ADHD on a podcast? This.
Stop.
Wait, let me tell about the first night, my perspective.
Okay, fine.
So Ash is like rallying, right? But she's kind of like, you were like funny sick still. Like, you know when you're sick, but you're still like going along with things and it's kind of just like your character of the night.
The sick one.
Yeah. Like it was kind of funny. Like we were still vibing.
We were getting ready. We were having fun.
We get to like a really nice dinner. And I'm not even joking. Like 5 minutes into the dinner, I look over. And one thing about Ash, me and Alicia were talking about this after you left.
Oh,
she does not have the capacity. Well, she thinks she's fooling everyone. She thinks she's putting on a brave face. No, let me tell you, when she's mad, annoyed, or hungry or sick, you look at her and you're like, got it, noted. Like you can tell. So
I just have zero poker face.
No,
I
zero
can't
poker
lie.
face.
I can't hide any of that stuff.
You were straight up miserable. Like it wasn't just like,
well, I think I had a fever.
I don't feel good. It was like, I looked at her, I was begging her to leave. Like that's how bad she looked. I was like, Ash, like I can't even like have fun right now because you look like you're going to start crying or like fall out of your chair.
I was like bent over. Well, one, I was freezing. The entire that room was
cold.
Absolutely so cold, and I did not have a shawl. Or I literally took Taryn's like little sheer
like net thing
and to put it around my legs because I was so cold.
And a napkin.
It was miserable. So I was trying to like not cause a scene or like make a big deal out of it because it was night one. of Remi's Bachelorette, and she was obviously having the best time. But then literally Tommy, he's on our management team and also just like a dear friend, like comes up and he was like, hey, go home.
No,
and I was
all of us were looking at her and then looking at each other like, is she well? And everyone kept looking at me because like that's what happens when you're best friends.
Well, you were also like my partner for the weekend.
Yeah,
me, you,
like,
and Lindsay were like,
you know how like I'm sure you've had times where people are like, hey, is Tara good? Like it was like that. So everyone kept looking at me and I was like, she's fine. She's good. She's fine. Like,
I ordered an espresso martini in order to like hype up. I think I took like 2 sips and was like, will not be finishing that. Well, because
your throat was like on fire and then drinking alcohol is like the worst feeling.
Yeah, it's either like a good decision. Like I probably should have just taken a shot of tequila and killed whatever was in me instead of trying to mess around with a cocktail.
No, she basically like ate the food because then we talked and I was like, I think you should leave. She was like, but I'm hungry.
Yeah, I was like, well, I do want dinner.
And the dinner was great.
It was fantastic.
So she eats the dinner, sneaks away. Of course, it's Remi's. I can make the same. Hello. I can make the statement so confidently. She is the most angelic person. Yeah. I've never met someone with like how come
what's happening? What's happening over there? Oh my God.
I just love Remi so much. But she's amazing. So of course, like the second Ash was like, hey, she's like, leave. Don't worry about it. Like you're fine.
I felt so bad. And I looked at Tommy, who's one of those people who will just like tell it to you straight. And I was like, of all the nights, like, should I rally for tonight or should I rally for tomorrow? He was like, skip tonight. Tomorrow's the good one. And I was like, done. I was like, I can do that. So
she missed.
Today's episode is sponsored by DraftKings Casino. Guys, spring is in full bloom on DraftKings Casino. New offers and promos are sprouting up daily. Right now, new players can play $5 on anything and get 350 casino spins instantly on a featured slot game. Download the app and sign up with code ADVICE. Take the featured slot for a spin and explore thousands of others in the DraftKings game library. Check back daily to claim the hottest offers and promos on DraftKings Casino. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 and over. Physically present in Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Connecticut and Ontario. Eligibility restrictions apply. New customers only. Non-withdrawable casino spins valid for featured game only and expire in 168 hours. See terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos. Ends June 15th, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time.
I knew I would, and I was so bummed, and I knew. I was like, I don't see Remi going on stage. I see Alicia going on stage.
Of course,
so obviously Alicia went on stage. Remi was being like, I think it probably made her a little uncomfortable because it's like, it's very intense if you get pulled up on stage.
Oh, she's
obviously a bride to be. Alicia's the single one. There is one right answer. Like, put Alicia up there.
Yeah. Also, Alicia was like wanting it so bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Ash goes home. I go with the group. We go to Magic Mike.
I took a very hot shower. I took a very heavy pour of NyQuil and I knocked out.
Yeah. Magic Mike is just an experience.
It really is.
It's so funny because like I had this argument with my brother the other day because I was like, it is not the same.
No.
It is not the same for a group of girls to go to Magic Mike, which is technically like a strip show, but not.
Yeah.
And then men to go to a strip club.
First of all,
it is not the same.
Let's do a poll on Instagram because I completely agree with this. And I have had this conversation multiple times since we've had this conversation in Vegas. There is, and I'm not saying this for every woman, and I'm not saying this for every man, but there is in general a less factor with strip clubs that are catered to men. And there
it's not
is
even they can't even, it's not even in their ability to not. That's the thing that people are like, well, I go and I'm so loyal, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, but you have eyeballs and a male brain, which is, if you study it, which I have in human sexuality, men cannot look at a naked woman and not have a reaction. Like they are very visual people. Right. So if you go to something where there are half naked or naked women walking around and dancing and like pulling men in the back to like dance on, it is not like you can't go there and just be like, oh, I was just thinking about you the whole time, baby. It's like, no, it's not the same thing.
Yeah. So anyways, Magic Mike was so much fun. It sounded like everyone had an absolute blast.
Well, it's okay. So like when you go to, have you ever been?
Yeah, with you.
Oh, duh, with Haley. Yeah. It's the funniest experience ever because you're just with a group of girls. You're like screaming because you're also like embarrassed, like when they're doing like all this stuff or like coming at you. You're like hee hee, like it's just like funny. And so my favorite part, I was sitting next to our friend Murph, who was the mascot of the whole weekend. He has an energy level that I know for a fact, even at 2 years old, I didn't match.
No, it's literally unmatched. We'll also post a video of him because he'd love.
Oh, the video where I'm like panning. Everyone's on their phone and he's just like, he's such a riot. But so of course I'm taken, right? Like I'm not interested in it. I'm just having fun. I'm like having a good time. Murph is on the prowl. And so every guy, he'd be like, oh, that one's mine. That one's mine. And every time like a guy would walk by, which I'm pretty sure half of them are gay. Yeah. Like you can just tell.
Another factor that differentiates.
This kind of bothered me because I get that they're selling the fantasy to women because it's mostly women there. Mm-hmm. But we were with like, how many gay guys were in our group? 4, 5, 6. Yeah. And not one of them got like danced on. And I'm like, that's not fair because also if you are gay as a dancer, like give them some love. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, so there was this one guy. So the whole time Murph is like, every time a guy comes, he's like, whatever. And then there's
I wish he was here to say.
Oh, I wish he was. I have so many videos. Like, anyways. Okay. So there was this one dancer, which interesting enough, I was not getting gay vibes. Murph totally called it out though. And I was like, interesting. So we were in like the second row and there's like this front row, which is couches. And so this guy goes and he's like dancing on each girl, like through the couch and just very aggressive. Like most of the guys, it's like, haha, funny. That one, I was like, oh my God, like I need to look away. I was like, oh, I feel like I should not be here. But every time he would like start getting into the grind, he would look up and make dead eye contact with Murph, like while he's grinding on this girl. And so I'm sitting there going, I was like, I grabbed Murph and I was like, oh my God. And Murph was like, I know. You know,
like,
just so confident. Yeah. So every time it happens, I'm like, like just like so shocked. Yeah. So finally he goes, he dances on all these people. He walks, how they like basically see if you're interested. They'll kind of like walk up to you and put their hands out. Yeah. And then if you put their hands into theirs,
your hands,
then yes, thank you. Then they'll start dancing on you. So it's very easy to be like,
well, they ask permission.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Like you like kind of shake off like, I'm good, you know, whatever. So the guy's walking around. He looks at Murph. I'm telling you, the way this man, I was so uncomfortable, but in the best way, you know? So he walks, he puts his hands out to Murph. And I was like, oh my God, it's happening. I was so excited. Murph got so excited. He goes to put his hands in his, knocks his drink over all over himself. All over himself. So then the guy looks down and just goes like, oh, and then walks away. I looked at Murph and I was like, why? Why?
That was your opportunity.
So excited. Like it was finally happening. But it was like the funniest thing because there was just all the buildup of the whole night and then for that to happen. But it was such a funny night. It was so much fun. We all left. It was like
Alicia gets pulled up on stage because Remi says no, and Alicia's also wearing pants, which is a big deal.
When the guy came up to her, he said, like, "Are you in wearing pants?" And then he was like, "Do you want to go up?" And she was like, "Yeah."
Because then he can really like flip her around, do all that stuff. Because a lot of the girls are wearing skirts, and it's
they're like all up on them and picking them up, laying them on the floor. Like it was wild. It's like my thick self would never get chosen for that.
You don't know.
Well, actually, the aggressive one probably, because he just looks like he can do things. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, so that was the night, and then I got home and I get in bed and hear Ashley just struggling to like exist. And I go, are you okay? She's like, no. I was like, oh.
I was bad.
It was bad, yeah.
In my perspective, I'm like, I've decided I'm leaving the next day. I shouldn't be here. I'm definitely going to get Taryn sick. So the next morning, I wake up and I'm sad. I'm like, I'm really sad. But a girl needs coffee because that's just my routine. So we all decided we were going to walk to Starbucks and then I was going to figure out my flights and I was going to leave. And like, I like talked to Lindsay and Taryn and I'm like, guys, I don't know what to do. Like, I feel really bad. Like, I want to be here. I want to pay. I like paid for my flights. Like I everything. I like want to do this, but like I'm so down bad. And then they were like, you know what? We have brunch. You can leave after if you choose to. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna rally for brunch.
Think the difference is because Ash is like an all or nothing thinker too, and we kind of were like, hey, we're in Vegas. We're not in like Canada trying to get home. Like you can find a flight.
Yeah.
So like let's look. Shut up. Shut up. We will get there. Shut up.
I feel like we need it.
Shut up. But I told Ash, I'm like, stop looking at this as a whole trip and look at it as like tiny chapters.
Yes,
so like,
which helped me a lot.
Try brunch, decide. If you don't like it, go home. And then after brunch, we were like, why don't you just come to dinner and decide? Why don't you just come to the club and decide?
Yes.
And then I feel like your whole weekend was like changed from that.
Out of all the days, this is the day I wanted to rally for because T-Pain was going to be performing at the club at the club at the hotel that we were staying at. The hotel that we were staying at, which meant if I had enough energy in me,
I thought the ceiling was caving.
Which meant if I had enough energy in me, I could go to T-Pain, and the second I feel bad, I just walk my little self upstairs and go to bed. I didn't have to find a cab. I didn't have to go to a different building. Like I was like, this is the ideal situation for me. So I end up rallying. I take a bunch of Dayquil. I do brunch. Brunch is great. We end up going back to the hotel and chilling for a little bit, which was so nice. And then we get ready. It was our red night. We all wore red and we all go out to dinner. And at dinner,
Which
I decide
was so good.
Dinner was phenomenal.
Oh my gosh.
One of the best carbonaras I've had in a really long time. So then we do that. I'm feeling good. I'm like, guys, I'm feeling really good. I'm going to actually overdose on Dayquil and make sure I see T-Pain because I'm feeling better now. And I'm like, this is great. I'm going to see him. Taryn and I saw T-Pain at Coachella and it was like the highlight of our weekend.
He's such a performer.
I literally forgot that I know all his songs.
Yeah.
I was transported back into my late middle school, high school self.
Yeah.
Like all of the lyrics were flooding back to me and I had so much fun. So I was like, I'm going to do it's going to be the same thing tonight. Remi obviously has a table, so I was like, this is perfect. Again, one of those instances. We skip the lines. There's a giant line. Skip the whole thing, walk straight to our table. We're having fun. Taryn and I are dancing. And, then 12 o'clock comes around and I'm like, whew, any minute now, T-Pain's going to come out. And then 1 o'clock comes around and I'm like, my Dayquil's worn off. It's time for NyQuil. And I'm like, my should be in bed, but I'm here trying to dance and trying to have fun, and I am having a blast. But it's wearing
No,
off.
it literally was so much fun.
Yeah.
But there just comes a point where you're like, I'm so tired.
Yeah, and I even ended up taking a shot that night because I wasn't drinking. I was on Dayquil.
Well, also Vegas,
but I was like, maybe the tequila will kill whatever's in here because I was popping cough drops like nobody's business. Everyone was taking a shot. I was popping a cough drop. But
I think Vegas, their late or go time just keeps getting later and later and later.
Ridiculous.
And so 1 o'clock comes and Ashley looks at me like I'm at my limit. And so I stopped one of the waiters or whatever they're called. And I was like, hey, honestly, when's this guy coming out?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, he won't come out till 2. I looked at Ashley and told her 2. And she was like, okay, guys, everyone have a good night. She was like, I'm out.
I was counting my losses. I was just like, man, that was the one. But honestly, I'm grateful to T-Pain because he got me through Saturday.
He did.
Or actually, it was technically Friday because
he was your carrot.
He was the thing that kept me going.
Yeah.
And even though I didn't see him, Taryn did. And I got to watch a lot of videos from Taryn's perspective and it made me happy.
I don't think I had feet anymore at that point. It was so painful. But I looked, everyone is getting ready to go. I was really sad because I was like, okay, I literally waited this long and I love love T-Pain. So I was like, and we were at a table, like we had all this space. The stage was so close. I was like, when am I gonna get this experience, you know? So I looked at Abigail and I was like, are you leaving? And she was like, no. Are you leaving? And I was like, amazing, no.
Yes.
So there was a group of, I think, 4 or 5 of us that stayed. And that hour till he came out was a little rough. Not gonna lie. But once he came out, like it was such a fun experience. And like me and Ash watched all the videos the next day and she got to like live through my videos, but it was so much fun. But I will say, like, I probably look like a Disney witch getting back up to the room because I was struggling. I was hobbling. And then of course I run into someone who's like, are you Taryn? I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like I was sweaty. I was like, yeah, it was just not.
Just hobbling up to the room.
A good look.
Also, our hotel, we were staying at the Resorts World. It's massive. It's, I mean, a lot of hotels are out there, but it was so massive. So it really is like a trek. I was joking about just having to go upstairs, but like it really is a trek. So I'm just picturing Taryn hobbling up there.
I was struggling.
So anyways, all that to say, the next day, we're all really tired. I have so much FOMO because I missed the first night and I missed T-Pain the second night. This day we have the Tao Beach Club.
Sorry, I have a hiccup.
And then we have a pajama party that night. We go to Tao Beach Club, and again, like I'm tired, but I have the Dayquil. Like we're doing good. We get there. We have this beautiful table behind the DJ, and Tiesto is supposed to play. We're all excited. We're all having fun, and it's getting closer and closer. We're like, oh, any second now, Tiesto is going to come out.
We had reached peak hypeness.
Yes.
All of us were on like the best one. We were like in a good mood. We had great food. We were all comfortable.
It was all like Tao food.
I had
Remi ordered a lot of
literally
it.
smuggled in like bath slippers in my purse because my feet hurt so much from T-Pain. So I was in bath slippers in this table. Like we're all in our bathing suits and cover-ups and dancing. And it was like a high. Like I was like, this is gonna be like the moment.
So good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the loudspeaker comes on.
The loudspeaker comes on. This guy gets up in the DJ spot and says that the whole place is getting shut down because of a water problem.
Basically,
plumbing problem.
Someone took a dookie in the pool. Like that's the only
that we don't know for sure, but that's what it felt like. And the whole place got closed.
But they tried to be like, oh, there's water on many levels. Like we have to close everything down. But Murph asked one of the guys and the guy was like, no, everything's working fine. So someone shat their pants in the pool.
Assuming so. Again, luckily, no one actually goes
no one gets in the pool.
Except for this idiot, whoever was in the pool.
Yeah. Do you want a disease? There's all of the reason why you should never be in a pool in Vegas.
Yeah. So that ends up closing down hard. We all take a really long siesta. And then I'm like, I made it through. We're going to go do the PJ party. And then we all get to go to bed and go home the next day. So we get to the PJ party and I'm so tired. And then I hear Tommy, the guy from our management team, be like, guys, we got the Zed table.
You guys, the room erupts and me and Ashley just slowly look at each other. And I was like, do you want to go to that? She's like, I'm not going to that. I'm like, me neither. And then like Rem would come up and be like, oh my God, you guys. And we'd be like, yeah. But we were just like, there's no shot. I
physically could not. It was at Omnia and they ended up getting a last minute table and they had the time of their life and I'm so happy for them.
I'm old now, man.
There was literally no way. There was literally no way that I could get myself there. But I'm very impressed by everyone who did. They had a blast. The PJ party was great. It was really cute. We got to like really celebrate and focus on Rem. They went to Zed. We went to bed. Then it's the next day. I had so much excitement for going home. I got the perfect time for our flight. I picked like 12:30, which got us home by 1:30.
Worked perfectly because I had a huge opportunity. Lego had invited me to a special Lego event that was Star Wars because it was May the 4th. So my actual 2 favorite worlds colliding. And so like we had booked that flight because I was like, perfect, because the second we get home, I can just drive and go straight there.
Yeah. And this was one of those things where I messaged Taryn and I was like, hey, like, have you booked your flight yet? She was like, no, not yet. I was like, okay, like, I'm going to book ours and then you can just pay me back. And she was like, okay, cool. So I booked both of our flights for 12:30 to land at 1:30. And we would still have, she could go to her event. I could still have the day to like unpack, do laundry, like maybe take a short walk and like go to bed early. That was my plan. We get to the airport and Taryn's like, oh my God, did you check in for us?
That was literally at the hotel.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't get an email to check in. Did you? And you were like, no, that's weird. And so Ash, like the whole ride there was like fumbling with her app and was like, I don't know why. Like, I don't see anything.
Also, like on a separate note, I was having trouble logging into my app, which I ended up fixing. I was using the wrong email. But so all that to say, I didn't actually confirm like what was going on. We get to the airport and I type in my confirmation number. And the whole time I'm thinking, we're good. I have a confirmation number. So we're fine. We don't have to stress about it. I go to type it in, error, type it in again, error, type it in again, error, ask the lady, error. So she's like, you have to go talk to this person. I booked our flights for May 24th.
It was May 4th. While we're walking to the help desk, I just had this like terrible feeling in my gut.
And feeling.
So I pull up, Ash had sent me the confirmation number. So I go back into that text and I'm like looking at the text and all the way at the bottom, it says May 24th or 25th or something. I
think it was 25th.
25th. Right. And we're walking and I just go, Ash, why does it say May 25th? She goes, what? She looks and then she never looks at me. She doesn't speak to me. I know she's freaking out. Ash is the type of person that will like affect her more than others. So all that was going on in my head was like, control your face and emotions because she's going to freak out. Even though I wasn't like mad at you, I was like so sad about missing the Lego event. So I was like, deal with your emotions. And like, if she looks at you, just smile because she's freaking out. I could tell you were like freaking out.
I've never felt more disappointment in myself in my life. I could not believe what happened. I could not believe I got the date wrong. I couldn't believe I didn't double check it. I was shocked Taryn didn't double check it. I couldn't believe that I was considering changing my flights to an earlier flight and I didn't even look at it. And then I didn't even cross my mind that I didn't get a check-in email.
Well, that's not something you would do normally. So I didn't even think to like confirm stuff. I was like, oh, she booked the flights. Like,
well, I've never made that big of a mistake in my entire life. And so that didn't even cross my mind as a possibility. So then the lady tells me what's going on. I'm like, okay, just put us on the next flight. And she's like, okay. The next one is at like 7:45 or 9 p.m. at night. Granted, we're currently there. It's like 10:30.
Yeah.
It's like 10:30.
Do you know that feeling where you're like sitting at a dinner table, everyone's finished and all the plates are still there. And all of a sudden you hit this point where you're like, if I don't leave this table, I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about Vegas.
That's how I felt too.
I'm done.
I was literally on my deathbed all weekend. The fact that I hustled and was able to like pull through was just honestly a miracle. And I was so looking forward to getting home. And I was like, I can't sit in this airport for another 11 hours.
And then like, where else are we going to go with like,
we had all of our stuff packed.
While I hear the lady telling Ash this stuff and I could tell Ash is freaking out. So I'm behind Ash. I mapped home. It said it was a 4-hour drive. And then I pulled up Enterprise to see if like we could even get a car. Mm-hmm. So basically Ash turned and the first time she spoke to me, she goes, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, look, if we're going to have to sit for 4+ hours, I would rather sit in a car and be moving and like get food,
getting on our way
music,
home.
Like whatever, and then be home. Like, cause we basically got home before we even were gonna board the flight.
Before we even boarded, way before.
Yeah. So we finally, she was like, okay. So we ended up getting our money back for the flight. We booked a car.
Because it was so far away.
And we drove.
The flight was so far away that we got every cent back.
Yes.
And I mean, obviously saving money. So we got our fully refunded for that. We spent $100 on a car and took the car to Vegas, all way before we would have ever actually gotten home, and way before a lot of the people in our party ever got home.
Yeah, in fact,
because
like
there were flight cancellations because there was a storm.
Yeah, a lot of people were texting us and were like, oh, I wish we would have known. We would have jumped in your car.
Yeah, I was too miserable. I couldn't even say out loud what I did.
You were still like, you were very like,
I was angry.
Upset and embarrassed at the time. And then it like finally, like at one point we were walking and then finally Ashley like looked at me and was like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, Ash, we're fine. Like you didn't mean to do it. We're going to have so much fun.
I was like recapping this whole story to Jackson and I was like, if this had happened with anyone else other than Taryn, I would have killed myself. Yeah. I was like, luckily Taryn is the most like kindest, forgiving and understanding person and was just like, listen, I've mourned the Lego event. I'm looking forward to a road trip with you. And I was just like, who does that? Who does that? And so we ended up, she booked the car. So she went to go get the car. I like grabbed every snack I could possibly get. I got us coffees, which were but it's fine. And then like we get in the car and we go and I was like, I'll pay for gas. I'm so sorry. And we ended up having a great time. It was like a perfect balance of like, we listened to music. We listened to the Trisha Paytas Call Her Daddy episode. We listened to more music. We yapped and like had like a really great talk. And all in all, it took like 4 hours, 45 minutes. It wasn't bad at all. It was actually like a decent drive for a Vegas drive on Sunday. So.
Like it was like not a lot. It was just raining, but there wasn't like traffic. So it ended up being totally fine. And like, I feel like you recovered like hour and a half into the drive.
Yeah. Like once we were like packed in on the road, I was like, okay.
I'm okay.
Okay, I'm fine. Yeah. But there were like twice where I like 2 times during the drive where I like looked at her and I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, I'll drive, you can sleep. She was like, I'll drive. I was like, yes, ma'am. I was like, whatever you want. Like, whatever you want.
No, it was like, you know, like because like the whole weekend, like I'm just going where I'm told. I'm like doing all the things. I was like tired. I was all of that. So then it was like, I knew me driving, I'd feel like in control. It would keep me up. It would keep me engaged. So it was like, for me, I was like, I feel like I'll enjoy it if I could just drive.
Yeah. Also, Taryn and I have always enjoyed driving. Yeah. Especially like mindless road trip. Where you're not trying to navigate through freeways. You're just kind of like going. Yeah. So I understood that and I made it my life's mission to keep her comfortable and fed and make sure that I was entertaining her. And
she was like, you want beef jerky? You want some pistachios?
I was like, what do you need? What do you need? Tell me. Like, I'll do it. And so it ended up being great. Yeah. It was definitely a special moment in our friendship. And that was our Vegas.
That was our Vegas trip.
Miss Remi Ashton Bachelorette recap.
Yep.
We barely survived.
Also,
I had the longest lingering cough. Yeah. And I think I finally got past it because last night was the first night that I didn't like wake up coughing.
Also, like I'm not like a drinker in general. Like I don't like go out and party it. Like that's never been the vibe. But like when you go on trips like that, that's like you're just trying to survive the day. So everyone's like drinking and it's like, it gets very, I think that's the part that like by the end of the trip, I'm like, I feel sick. I feel gross. This trip, like I just really kind of like chilled. I didn't really drink a lot. Like I just kind of let my personality be my energy. And like, it was just such a good group and it was so much fun. So I feel like that helped too. It's like, I feel like I finally embraced like where my age and body are and like know my limits. And again, it was so fun.
It was just Remi has some really great and amazing friends. Yes. And she planned the whole thing to a T so well that I literally, and I'm saying this so genuinely, even though I was so sick, I would copy paste the same weekend, like do it all over again because it was an absolute blast.
It was so much fun.
Everyone was so sweet and kind. There was no drama. Everyone was like helping clean. Everyone was helping like make decisions and like plan for stuff. And like it went really well.
Yeah, it was so much fun. We survived.
And we were definitely like the oldest ones there.
We for sure were the oldest ones there. I think
me, you, and Abigail. Actually, I think Abigail's like 1 year older than me, which would be your age. So
no, she's 1 year older than me. Because she said that while we were there, and I was like, oh.
Which puts me to shame because she was hanging in there, and she actually had 2 bachelorette parties that weekend.
She
can rally.
She rallied way better than us.
Way better than us. She
also,
if she wasn't with us, she was at the other bachelorette.
Yeah,
and then she stayed up for T-Pain. She went to Zed Sunday or Saturday night. Like she did everything. And then some. And I'm so blown away by her. I just want to be her when I grow up.
Dude, also, can we just say, no one can rally as much as the gays.
No. Literally no
I
one.
was like, in the morning, they'd show up full of energy and like so excited for the day. And I would look at them and be like, hello.
And
like,
they looked amazing.
How amazing.
That's the main thing for me. I felt and looked like I felt like all weekend, and they'd show up the next day, like post whatever we did that night.
Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed.
Bright-eyed, like looking beautiful.
And not to mention, every single night when all of us finally went to bed, they still were out doing things.
They would go gamble. They would go to some bar. They would end up dancing. I don't know, but they always went out afterwards. They stayed up till like 5. They showed up bright and early, and looked amazing. And I was just
they were the lifeblood of
they
our
really were. They
our group.
really were. And I was blown
And
away
I
by
love
all
every
of them.
single one of them.
Also, I had a heart to heart with I think almost all of them, which was just like so sweet. So like, anyways,
beautiful.
It was a great weekend. Remi has amazing friends. We're so excited for the wedding, and we survived Vegas again.
We did.
We've had a couple really big bachelorettes there, so that says a lot.
Yeah. But I will not be doing anything for a while because Coachella, Stagecoach Vegas, like who did I think I was?
And then I had a brand trip this week, which was following the Vegas weekend. And it was also Mother's Day weekend. And I've been seeing a lot of my mom lately. Also, we traveled to like Asia together. So I messaged her because she was like, maybe you guys can come out Sunday because Alicia's gone. And I was like, okay, yeah, maybe. And then I messaged her and I was like, hey, I love you so much. Happy Mother's Day. I can't come out. I need a weekend at home. I haven't had one and I need this desperately. I was like, I'll take you out to lunch next week. I have a present for you. Like, it'll be great. And she was like, oh my gosh, honey, of course. You're so fine. I was like, I'm so sorry, but all I want to do is just like be home. And I feel like my body needed it.
Yeah.
And it felt so good. All that to say, the brand trip and the chill weekend was like it for me.
Yeah.
I feel amazing.
Yeah. We're ready to just live life.
I'm ready. Yeah. I'm back.
Well, I guess we're not going to read a story.
Well, I feel like that was story enough. I mean, the twists, the turns, the dramatic ending.
Well, to end the episode, we will do a dad joke.
A whoop.
A whoop.
And a whoop.
What do you call a pig that practices karate? You have to get
Pork
this.
chop. A pork chop. Man, same mind.
Same. It's just you get it.
I get it.
And now you
Here
get
I
it.
am. Guys, if you made it to the dad joke, you already know the drill. We love you the mostest. I hope you enjoyed our Vegas recap. I know that's not our normal, regularly scheduled episode.
Us with we did your engagement recap, and then we did
lots of recaps. We did a Coachella recap. I promise, like, we're gonna lay low for a bit. So
we're done. We're tired.
Done for a while.
We're old. We're done.
Tired. If you want your story read on our podcast, guess what? You have to send it to our email. What's our email, Taryn?
adviceunsolicitedpod@gmail.com.
Also, we've been putting a lot of extra love and work into our socials, primarily our TikToks and Instagram, but we're gonna be putting a lot more love there also, so be sure to follow us there and watch all of the videos, see all of the photos that we talk about when we talk about this stuff, and when people send stuff, that's where we post it all. So be sure to subscribe and follow us there. And we love you all so much.
Love you.
Talk
Bye.
to you soon. Bye. Today's episode is sponsored by DraftKings Casino. Guys, spring is in full bloom on DraftKings Casino. New offers and promos are sprouting up daily. Right now, new players can play $5 on anything and get 350 casino spins instantly on a featured slot game. Download the app and sign up with code ADVICE. Take the featured slot for a spin and explore thousands of others in the DraftKings game library. Check back daily to claim the hottest offers and promos on DraftKings Casino. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 and over. Physically present in Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Connecticut and Ontario. Eligibility restrictions apply. New customers only. Non-withdrawable casino spins valid for featured game only and expire in 168 hours. See terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos. Ends June 15th, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time.